Good morning, my friends. I'm Lama Jigme, and this is Enlightened Fitness, where first we will use high-intensity body weight interval training to cultivate the body of a Tantric Sex God, and then we'll use guided meditation to cultivate both the heart and the mind of a Buddha. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, I want to say welcome. And of course, I want to draw your attention to the button below the video. It's about an inch or three below the video. A little button that reads Show More. When you click that, it'll reveal a list of links as long as my arm. Those links are important because everyone has questions. People have questions about what to eat, what to drink, how do you warm up? How do you exercise? People have questions about how do you sit? How do you keep track of your breaths? How do you meditate? How do you contemplate? What is enlightenment? These questions are answered directly and indirectly by using the free resources below this video. One of the first links you'll encounter will take you to a page on my website where you can find all the Enlightened Fitness videos organized. First, you'll find them organized by length of workouts. Each box will have, one box will have all the 10-minute workouts, one box will have all the 1-minute workouts, one box will have all the 2-minute workouts, and so forth. Within each box, the videos are organized by length of guided meditation. So do yourself a favor. I don't care if you've been meditating for 20 years, you haven't been meditating under my instruction. So you won't understand how I'm guiding the meditation unless you start off gradually. Start off with a 3-minute video. When you're comfortable with that technique I've presented to you, go to a 6-minute video. Once you're comfortable with that technique, it might take a day, it might take a week, go to a 9-minute video, and so forth, 12-minute, 15-minute, you get the idea. Progress gradually, stay within your comfort zone. We want to make this as pleasurable as possible. We don't want to develop an aversion. You already have enough of those. You don't need another. One moment. And I'm back. So let's touch on nutrition for a moment. I recommend the low-fat, whole-food, plant-based diet. I found it's best for our health, beauty, leanness, and lucidity. I found it's best for the planet. And of course, the moo-moo cows and the swimmy fish really appreciate it if we don't kill them. Oh sure, I know. That sounds a little bit crazy, but go figure. So I'm going to read to you a little passage from Healthy Eating, Healthy World by J. Morris Hicks, a book which you can order from the website, or you can just listen to it for free. So this is a passage under the heading of land degradation and deforestation due to the omnivorous factory farming approach. Lahman further points out that the Earth's surface was not originally designed for cattle grazing, and the land out west is marginal for growing crops that have been deteriorating ever since the first cowboys. More than half of western topsoil has been lost since the livestock began overtaking the western plains 140 years ago. Topsoil is the most precious commodity a farmer has. It takes nature anywhere between 100 and 800 years to produce 1 inch of topsoil. Since the founding of the United States, nature would have provided us with at most about 2 inches more of topsoil. But due to our chemical farming practices and our essential forfeiture of sovereignty over the land to cattle, we've lost about 6 inches. We are squandering a resource whose preciousness we don't even begin to understand. And floods are just part of our collective comeuppance. As noted previously, the problem isn't confined to the United States. The greatest destruction by far has occurred in Brazil, where a priceless resource is being lost. According to estimates, roughly a fifth of the Amazon rainforest, an area the size of California, has been lost since the 1970s. That has helped make Brazil's agribusiness corporation JBS become the largest meat supplier in the world. What can be done to slow down or stop the environmental devastation? Cornell researchers estimate that for every person who eliminates animal foods from his or her diet, an acre of trees is spared every year. Right now, there are roughly 10 million Americans, 3.2%, who consider themselves vegetarian. With growing awareness, that number could easily double or triple in the next few years, when 20 million more Americans switch to a primarily plant-based diet. It will save close to 20 million acres of trees, an area about the size of Indiana. That's all you get today. You want more? You gotta tune in tomorrow, my friends. Okay, let's work out. And of course, we'll be working out under the watchful eye of Coach Kitty. Kitty Cat isn't my cat. He's my neighbor's cat. He comes over basically to watch Netflix or to listen to progressive news shows on YouTube. Alright, let's warm up using 2 repetitions of Indian-inspired 12-phase sun salutation. Alright. Pay no attention to my cough. It's not caused by my diet or exercise. My poor health is due to health challenges that have been ravaging my body since birth. So if anything, this exercise and nutrition have helped me to cheat death. Let's play with 5 circuits of 5 exercises each. First set of single leg tabletops. First set of toe-oriented jumping squats. First set of elevated tent press, which is a prerequisite to doing handstand push-ups. First set of thrusts. Probably learned thrusts in high school. In the context of squat thrusts, half our thrusts are going to be twisted, half our thrusts are going to be straight. First set of chins. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Second squat. Second tent press. Second thrust. Second chin. Third squat. Third press. Third thrust. Third chin. Fourth squat. Whoops. Fourth single leg tabletop. Fourth Fourth, press. Fourth, thrust. Fourth, chin. Fifth and final single leg tabletop. Fifth, squat. Fifth, press. Fifth, thrust. Fifth and final, chin. I'm going to take a moment to move my yoga blanket. And my trusty space heater. Water, beverage of choice. Before we start meditating, I'm going to read to you the 15th chapter of a translation of the Tabata that concerns itself with the subject of joy. Actually, wrong place. 16th chapter that concerns itself with pleasure. Do not let pleasure distract you from meditation, from the way. Free yourself from pleasure and pain, for in craving pleasure or in nursing pain there is only sorrow. Like nothing, lest you lose it, lest it bring you grief and fear. Go beyond likes and dislikes, from passion and desire, sensuousness and lust, arise grief and fear. Free yourself from attachment. He is pure and sees. He speaks the truth and lives it. He does his own work, so he is admired and loved. With a determined mind and undesiring heart, he longs for freedom. We're going to stop right there, so we're not talking about, obviously, if you feel pain, you're not a sinner, and if you feel desire, you're not wrong. The question is, the subject is simply a question of slavery. Are you a slave to your pains? Are you a slave to your pleasures? Or can you use pain to increase your compassion and wisdom, and pleasure to increase your love and wisdom? That's the corner of Buddhist sexual tantra. There is a myth in Shan and in Zen that if we are truly unattached, we won't even long for enlightenment. That does not come from Buddhism, that comes from Taoism. And both Shan and Zen are essentially the bastard or the offspring, the bastard offspring that come from the unholy union of Buddhism and Taoism. There's nothing wrong with Taoism, but it's not Buddhism, and blending it never works well. So according to the Buddha's own text, there is a difference between slavery to desire and actually longing for enlightenment. The former is dangerous, the latter is beneficial. An important distinction to keep in our minds. With a determined mind and undesiring heart, he longs for freedom. He is called Udam Soto, he who goes upstream. When a traveler at last comes home from a far journey, with what gladness his family and his friends receive him. Even so shall your good deeds welcome you like friends, and with what rejoicing when you pass from this life to the next. So in other words, don't be a stupid bastard. Be, as we say in the words of my people, be a mensch, be a good person, be wise, be loving. Water, beverage of choice. What could be simpler than to drink only water and eat only plants? I'm not going to lie to you, it's barbecue season, and the scent of beef or chicken or fish on the grill makes my mouth water. But you know what doesn't make my mouth water? Cancer. You know what doesn't make my mouth water? Atherosclerosis. You know what doesn't make my mouth water? The torture and murder of my fellow creatures. You know what doesn't make my mouth water? The rape and plunder and poisoning of this earth. We don't have a backup. So yes, animal foods smell delicious. But when it comes to health, when it comes to cruelty, when it comes to ecology, they're far too expensive. Now, let's meditate. This week we've explored the three-minute technique of awareness and letting go. We've explored the 3-minute technique of basic metta, love and kindness, meditation. Yesterday we explored the 3-minute technique of basic breathing meditation. These, if we're going to be simple, we'd say these 3 techniques come from the Sutric tradition. We're now, over the next 3 days, we're going to start exploring 3 techniques from the Tantric tradition. Now, this isn't going to be dirty, take your clothes off Tantra. That's a lot of fun, but not for today's lesson. This is going to be keep your clothes on Tantra. So today's new 3-minute technique that'll push today's total to 12-minute meditation. Today's 3-minute technique is simply going to be the Tantric version of breathing meditation. Buddhism, so many religions, many spiritual systems use Tantra, including Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism, and Taoism. Each one has different techniques and different goals. For years I experimented with practicing them purely as well as practicing them in a blended fashion, and I found they're much more effective if you don't blend them. So that's not what I teach. I don't teach blended Tantra because, quite frankly, I want my students to progress quickly and rapidly defeat the tyranny of suffering in their life. In Hindu yoga, there is a technique called alternate nostril breathing. And what those folks will do is they'll balance 1 or 2 fingers on the forehead, and they'll alternately block one nostril with the ring finger, and then they'll release the ring finger and then block the other nostril with the thumb. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not the Buddha's path. In Buddhist Tantric alternate nostril breathing, the only thing that affects the flow of air in one nostril or the other is our intention. Now, younger me from the past could raise his hand and say, Mr. Gyatso, what if I don't do it perfectly? Because younger me from the past was kind of a perfectionist and hysterical neurotic. And the answer would be, hey, younger me from the past, don't worry, you won't do it perfect. Perfection is not the goal. Simply do your best, be aware, make distinctions, and harvest subtle improvements as days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months. So the goal is not perfection, just improvement. When we take perfection as our goal, we become very rigid, which ironically makes arhatship, no less enlightenment, impossible. When we take improvement as our goal, we tend to be more relaxed and fluid and adaptable, which makes arhatship and enlightenment possible. How do you guide your intention? With words. How do you guide your will? with words. How do you get, here comes a big word, how do you guide your volition? With words. Now you know why I emphasize words. If you just pay attention to the silent mental recitation on the in-breath, you pay attention to the silent mental recitation on the out-breath, remember not to answer the question, remember to relax and let go in the out-breath, you can't help but progress on the path, especially practice once every morning, once every evening, every day. Left hand, palm up, in lap. Right hand, palm up, in left. Thumbs do not touch. Touching your thumbs is a Taoist technique, and it crept into Buddhism many centuries ago, but it doesn't belong there. So, hands touching, thumbs do not. On the first few in-breaths, in through left, on the first few out-breaths, out through right. If you're a little bit lost, go back to the 3-minute lesson. In through left, out through right. In through right, out through left. In through both, out through both. So that wasn't too terribly difficult. Some of the benefits of this exercise is it helps to bring the energy out of our side channels and coalesce it within our central channel, which can increase our peace, joy, wisdom, resourcefulness, and resiliency, both intellectual, emotional, as well as physical. Let's do it again. In through left, out through right. In through right, out through left. In through both, out through both. And now we're going to switch gears and move to the one-syllable paradigm of these same exercises. Left, right. Right, left. Both, both. Now we're going to review the techniques we've already learned in previous lessons. We're going to switch gears from Tantric breathing exercise to Sutric breathing exercise. This is also known as mindfulness of breathing or Anapanasati. How long breath, releasing. How long breath, releasing. Now we're going to switch to our one syllable paradigm. Breath, free. Now we're going to play with the Metta loving kindness meditation. Today let's focus on the loving kindness that wishes to lavish all beings with joy. How joy good, releasing. How joy feel, releasing. Now to me, give great joy. Now to some, give great joy. Now to all, give great joy. Now to each, give great joy. Each joy. So you're taking aim with the word each, giving joy when you say the word joy. Each being you, every being in your body, every being in your environment, every being on our planet, every being on all planets in every universe. Each joy. Our final 3 minutes of the meditation, we're going to conclude with our practice of the union of awareness and letting go. What's seeing, releasing. What hearing, releasing. What feeling, releasing. How could this be funny? Grin with lips, releasing. Grin with cheeks, releasing. Grin with eyes, releasing. Noticing, relaxing. This ease. That concludes this morning's 12-minute guided meditation. Yep, it might have gone more than 12 minutes with all my jibber-jabbering, but if on your second run-through, if you take notes of the contemplative notation, and then you follow those notes as you meditate, you know, things like in through left, out through right, in through right, out through left, in through both, out through both, a long breath, releasing, those types of things. You write those down. It should only take you, give or take, about 12 minutes. If you do that twice a day, every day, you'll notice some changes in your life. I now invite you to join me for a gentle set of geriatric yoga called Untying the Heart's Knots. As you can see, all the supervision has exhausted Coach Kitty. Please sit erect. Please lace your hands behind your tush. Please open your chest. Please twist to the left. Why give wise? Releasing. Please reverse. Now to each, give wisdom. Back to center. Please release the hands, lace them in the lap, swing them out and now overhead. Please bend to the left. Why give peace, releasing. Please reverse. Give to each. Now to each, give great peace. Back to center. Let's make our way into downward facing fetal position, which is also known as child's pose. Give to each, love for all. Curl your hands into fists. Place your fists on the yoga blanket just above your knees as if you're going to punch. Energetically straighten your arms. Ride the momentum into the seated samurai position, which is also known as lion's pose. Please lace your hands behind your touch. Please open your chest, drop your head, roll your gaze up. What's seeing, really seeing. What hearing, really seeing. What feeling, really seeing. Please release your hands. Please cup your palms. Gently press your hands together so the center of each palm is hovering before the upper third of your chest. Please relax your shoulders down and use your hands to twist to the left. Why give joy? Releasing. Back to center. Relax the shoulders down. Use the hands to twist to the right. Give to each. Now to each, give great joy. Back to center. Relax the shoulders down. Let's work our way into the hands and knees posture in preparation for the cat-cow asana. Mouth open, jaw slack. Now to each, give comfort. Please stand up. Please balance all your weight upon the major and minor ball of each foot, right behind the big and little toe. Heels off the blanket. Legs subtly bent. Hips thrust forward. Hands laced behind the tush. Chest open. Head dropped. Gaze rolled up. How could this be funny? Grin with lips, releasing. Noticing, relaxing. Cat thinks I'm talking to him. Who's the pretty boy? Who's the pretty boy? I've been lobotomized by the sheer cuteness of the kitty. Alright, let's perform 2 repetitions of Indian-inspired 12-face sun salutation. Whilst performing these final 4 exercises, I'm going to be reciting the 3 final recitations found in the first set of lesson texts, which you can download for free from the class materials page. I think that's one of the first few links. Well, anyway, it's in your set of links, class materials. Each lesson in the first set of lesson texts concludes with these 3 recitations. You recite them twice a day, every day. Within weeks or months, you will have accidentally memorized them, which is, of course, peachy keen. By this virtue may I now accomplish the spontaneous, habitual, easy, and effective mastery of Buddha's mental yogas. wisdom, peace, love, and joy. And now lead every living being, without exception, to this ground. May everyone be healthy, wealthy, and happy. May everyone practice skillfully and joyfully. Everyone accomplish Tantric with life. And then helping others do likewise. For truly that is the meaning of life. Om Mani Padme Hum. Let's conclude with 2 repetitions of Vietnamese-inspired bows. May I always be cared for throughout all my lives by the Buddha of compassion, emanating as my kind teacher. And as such, may I always enthusiastically and joyfully tread this excellent path praised by the conquerors. Of course, when you look up the 3 closing recitations, you'll notice a bunch of links that explain how to do both the Vietnamese as well as the Indian bows. I'll save the Tibetan bows for a future lesson. Well, my friends, I thank you for your time and your kind attention. Thank you for your enthusiasm to be the happy camper that you were born to be. And I thank you for any support you're able to give. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Before I go, I want to take a moment to invite you to click the subscribe button, as well as the like button and the share button. Remember those links I told you about below the video? You could use one of those links to help keep this monk fed, which is quite lovely, but not mandatory. Even if you don't give a thing, please use these videos, apply them to your life. There's another link that you could use to register for the next series of live weekly webinars. When does it begin? Monday, the 6th of May. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.